We continue with the Kingbolen K10. I'm using an extension cable because the native cable is quite short. I've said it multiple times for the other diagnostic tools, especially for beginners. It's very important to find out where the OBD port is on your vehicle. The first few times when you're interacting with the OBD port, I would say get down and dirty, so actually see it, because there might be a possibility where if you do not master exactly where this connector needs to go, you might damage your OBD connector, you might damage these pins, or you might have a vehicle that has an OBD connector that has been damaged previously by someone else. So don't brute force it. Identify the position of your OBD connector and make sure that when you are using this, it goes in correctly. On some vehicles, especially on Renaults, I had difficulties where the spacing between the pins is quite strange and these connectors are hard to push, hard to connect to that vehicle. We have the vehicle connected to a power supply unit. This translates to me not having to worry about the voltage of the battery, but when you're running this type of scan, let's also start the recording over here. When you are running this type of scan, you should be mindful of the voltage of the battery. If you're seeing values under 11, under 10 volts, it's a good idea to either start the engine or connect a battery charger or some source of power to help with keeping the voltage at a decent value. Ignition on, we go for diagnosis. There is also the idea of intelligent diagnosis that will try to get the VIN of your vehicle from the CAN network and continue the steps by that. That one is a hit and miss method because on older vehicles that information is not available and you might struggle to identify the vehicle. So you select diagnosis and we will be selecting the brand that we want to diagnose. BMW, okay to this. That extension is making my life easier. The aim of this process is to see the diagnostic trouble codes that are present on the vehicle. These diagnostic tools give you even more insight, but for this specific video we are focusing on the fastest and easiest way. So we will need to select automatically search. If this fails, select manual select and your vehicle. On this tool we will have the opportunity of seeing the topology mapping. That might confuse some people. We get some info regarding the vehicle. You can confirm as this process is unfolding, you can confirm that the tool is selecting the correct vehicle, and we are aiming to generate a health report. The topology mapping, let's see if smart scan or system scan. We try with smart scan. Sometimes it's a hit and miss, so try the buttons that you have on the bottom part. If you're going for the top-down tools, try with different settings over there. This topology mapping is a more visual representation, but I've noticed that it can overcomplicate your existence, so don't trust it or don't follow it blindly. Now, it has scanned the available electronic control units. We want to generate a report. It's a compact way of seeing the diagnostic codes that the vehicle has stored. Just looking at the report, it's worth mentioning that diagnostic trouble codes, short DTCs, have different possible states. They can be permanent, they can be intermittent, or they might be historical faults. Based on this state, you can judge how important or how to prioritize troubleshooting them, but we will address that in another video when we will discuss diagnostic methods. First of all, many people will be using the scan, clear, and retest method, where after having this initial report, saving it, We are going to clear all of the codes, go for a test drive and see which diagnostic codes come back, and focus our efforts of solving those ones first, and after that see if we need to go further than that. This is our beautiful list. After that you will select share, save, things like that. You can also take pictures. These numbers will later allow you to do some research. So 28D600, you have a description that the diagnostic tool is giving you, but you might go even deeper and do your own research to see if there are additional details that you might want. We click just to save to see if it works. Sometimes these save or share options do not work if you do not have Wi-Fi available. So as I was saying it in the beginning of the video, you want to have either access to a Wi-Fi network, or if not, a hotspot on your mobile device so that you can share the Wi-Fi. Back to this one, the next step would be to click the clear DTCs, go for a test drive and see which codes come back. That will be something for a future video. You guys are also able to see that the tools that I'm using by comparison with the other ones that you're going to see on the channel are becoming more and more complex. You have system topology, you have the system list, you have possible special functions, you have commonly used special functions, anti-theft, coding and programming in the menu, and all of these can be confusing. Also, you have the option of entering a specific electronic control unit and different functions available on that one, which you will explore later. But for the aim of an initial introduction, I would say that this is enough. You have seen how to do a basic scan. Other useful content can be found on the channel. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.